Hey everyone, things are finally coming along. As you can see behind me, I've got 3 packages which hopefully contain my whole, air ride setup. I decided to go with the 3P management system and because the guys that were installing it and pretty much everyone that I spoke to kind of said that 3H was not worth the hassle. And since that saved me money, I decided to also go that way. Also, the installers were pretty much dead set against me taking the D2 struts. They said that they're not that great and they don't have as high quality parts, and that they actually recommend Fly Air struts. I have no idea what Fly Air is or who they are, and doing a Google search, I kind of only found things on their Instagram. But they talk these things up and said that they're the best struts that they work with. So I'm like, okay, let's go that way. But one thing I do find kind of interesting is that even though all this is supposed to come from Fly Air, all the boxes that I have have been sent by Airlift. So, but anyway, let's open these things up and see what we got here. I'm thinking it's going to be fittings, the air tank, as well as the struts themselves. So we have this thing opened up now. This is a 2.5 gallon tank, air tank that will sit hopefully right behind my seats. I will kind of interesting. I was told that this would come in a raw finish, but it looks like this is polished. I kind of want to get this powder coated. I don't know if that will cause them more work if they have to unpolish it. Keep in mind, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Also, what I was kind of worried about, they have these front-facing ports here, and whenever they recommended this tank, I'm like, do we need another 2.5 gallon tank that has that's an import tank? Because what I do not want to happen is get in a situation where whenever you open up the cubby area, this is what you're looking at. Like, I don't like that. I want to get in a situation where that's what I'm looking at, because I have something in mind that I want to put on here. Whereas if it's functioned this way, it's kind of not the look that I'm going for. So I'm gonna get to them about when they sent me the right tank. Well, first I'm going to see if being polished means it's going to cost me more to get this thing powder coated. Again, I don't have no idea what I'm talking about. But if it does, maybe they'll send a little bit back. But anyway, let's move on from this beautiful 2.5 gallon tank that I have here. And let's see what's in here. As I suspected, what we have are fittings and an order packing number. So, all right, I'll make sure not to lose these. Okay, so now we have the big package. The big package here, which I imagine are going to be the struts. So let's get this in position. Taking the things out of this box. All right, let's get this packing slip to see what's in here. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We have a 2.5 gallon tank. We'll mark that. We have a dual black compressor, and then tank management. Interesting. So there are no struts in here. So I guess that means that makes sense why nothing was from Fly Air, because we don't have the struts in here. That's a bit interesting, considering that I was told that this should have everything, but I'll make sure that there isn't some stuff that's outstanding. Oh wow. So what we have in here are boxes within boxes. Inside here, we have our V-Air, or there. They're dual compressors, double black, matte black finish. So yeah, let's open this up and can put eyes on these beautiful compressors. All right, so it's going to be about a month or so until these go in. So I don't want to completely take things apart because I'd like to be able to store them back neatly, but we can kind of see how that looks like. Very pretty. So hopefully with the tank set up, what will happen is that the tank is put in facing this way, and then I would assume the compressors are going to be installed near it, and they would come, the lines would come in over the top. Yeah, it makes you wonder if I could even present anything on this face. Yeah, I'll get more information with them about how, you know, this tank is actually going to look whenever it's mounted on there. So, all right, box has been opened up. Let's see what we have here. 3P. This looks like this is the management system. Designed for life on air. I mean, they definitely have their packaging down. This is very pretty. There seems to be something else inside the box, but let's take a look at this first. Alrighty. Okay. So this looks like it's going to be the remote. We have the remote right here. Figuring out where I want to mount this is going to be a problem. You know, I know like people have these mounted like usually right in front of an AC vent, or kind of similarly like they do like with the Apexi external computers that they have mounted in the cabin. I don't really like how any of those look, and I kind of want to look OEM, so I'm not sure I'm going to have to get something custom fabricated for it to sit somewhere. But yeah, I mean, or I don't know if I should probably put it in the glove box, but that would make it inaccessible, which, I mean, I just feel like this is maybe something that you do want to be accessible in case you need to quickly change your suspension on the go. You know, putting it somewhere inconvenient kind of defeats a little bit of the purpose, or at least the utilitarian purpose of having air suspension outside of slamming it on the ground. Right, so, and now we have our actual management here. Looks good. Yep, doesn't get more, I mean, there it is. And to finish it off, we have electrical. I can't make heads or tails with this, but the installer will. Looking at this description, it looks like this is going to be harness and hoses, 1/4-inch hoses. Just as described, harnesses and hoses. So I know originally they thought we'd have to go with the 1/4-inch line, with the 3/8-inch lines, but apparently after talking to Fair, they felt that 1/4-inch lines were sufficient. So if y'all wondering why I went 1/4-inch instead of 3/8, I mean, that's why. I guess bigger isn't always better. You know, I was made clear that I was willing to pay more for it if they thought it would be better. We need 3/8-inch lines, but they didn't feel that way. All right, so I mean, this is kind of how it will look. I mean, there's going to be 2 compressors, one on this side, one on that side. Kind of don't want to take everything outside the box, outside the packaging, but I think it's going to look really great, really clean. I guess I'll also go out to the car and just kind of like show you guys exactly what the vision is and how they're going to facilitate that. I know a couple of people have reached out to me thinking that I was interested. They wanted to see how the suspension be able to be set up in the back, and I guess I'll just run you guys through that right quick. All right, so here we are at the back of the Spider. So what's going to happen is that they're going to remove these bottom inserts here, and they're going to make a bottom plate out of aluminum. It's going to make this whole place flat, and then they're going to wrap it in material that's consistent with this OEM felt and carpeting that we have here. The goal would be for the tank to then be mounted on that surface, and then you'd have a situation where you could then close this or keep it open, and the compressors will hopefully be mounted, you know, one to either side. I just want to make sure there's enough clearance on the back end. So like, looks what happens when we close this out, because we still want this to have the capability to close So that's about what we'd be working with. And let's see how much clearance there is back there from them to do the wiring. Let me go on the other side. So I hope that's enough. I'll ask them what they think. If they think that's enough. Because what I don't want is a situation, what I absolutely would despise is a look like this. Because that would be unacceptable to me. That is very, very, very ugly. Also, I was planning on, in terms of how, where the wiring would be go through, if you look through the back, you have these grommets here, and they're going to pass the, quarter-inch tubing through those grommets to make sure that we don't have any associated drilling. So at first they thought they're going to need 3/8 inch tubing because they said this is a hot area, but the strut maker indicated that that quarter-inch should be more than enough for this environment. And hopefully they're right. I indicated like if they think 3/8 would be better, like I'd just rather be safer, go up to 3/8, and they said no, that's necessary. There's no need to go to 3/8 inch. So that's where we're at, and that's hopefully what my setup will look like. And doing it this way, I'll be able to keep my front trunk. So yeah,